Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to another video. So in this video I'm going to be addressing a few things and saying some things that I think need to be said with my channel and the analysis videos that I make, and the ones where we're looking at vocalists. Something that I do with my analysis videos is have pitch monitoring software up on screen. And we look at this software because it helps people to see when somebody's applying vibrato and sliding, glissando, which I refer to with a lot of singers. And it shows you how accurate they are pitch-wise, maybe them throwing runs together. So it's a visual tool. What people might not understand, and certainly people that don't watch my channel regularly, is that I always do that. It's not just on pitch correction videos or auto-tune videos that we use that as a visual aid. So I think some people might mistakenly think that even though it's a performance from 1970 or something like that, that just because the graph's on screen that I'm exposing pitch correction or auto-tune or something like that. I approach every single analysis video in exactly the same way. So I've been sent a link to a video and I analyze that video. That's how I've been doing it since the beginning, and it's how I still do it now. Interestingly, the only thing that is controversial and people comment in a controversial way and get emotional about is pitch correction and auto-tune. When I'm doing analysis videos and we still have the pitch monitoring software on screen, but I point out about a person's guitar technique, whether they're using hammer-ons or pull-offs, and what they're doing in order to get that sound from their guitar, whenever I demonstrate that or explain about it, I never get people in the comment section saying, "Oh, how dare you say that he used a hammer-on and a pull-off. I can't believe that you're exposing artists like that." When talking about those kinds of things, it's just an objective technical observation of what's happening and what we're hearing and putting those two things together. So, and that's all it is, and that's all it ever is. So if I'm pointing out that the reason we can hear this particular thing is either because of this technique or because of technology that has been used, it's an analysis video, so I'm going to point it out on the guitar when a technique's being used, and I'm going to point it out about vocals when software's being used in order to get the result that we're hearing, because that's what an analysis is, and that's my end goal, is just to explain what's going on. Now, people's emotional reaction to what I'm saying, I can't control that. All I can tell you is that we've got hammer-ons and pull-offs happening here on the fretboard, or we've got pitch correction on this particular person's vocal. That's just a fact. And we've got all of the proof on screen when I show it on screen, but when I demonstrate on the guitar, people can hear that, oh, what we're hearing sounds like that because the technique's being shown. And when we're listening to a vocal, the reason it sounds so spot on A440 standard tuning is because it's used something that's calibrated to that. And that's all I'm pointing out. It's just taking the data for what it is and then deciding whether it changes your opinion or not, whether you still like to listen to the music or not. And I say all the time in my videos that it's up to you, what you think and what you feel. And there's nothing that I'm going to say that's going to sway people on what they feel. I mean, people get told different bits of information and facts, and they make decisions based on those facts. So all I'm doing in exactly the same way is pointing out guitar technique. I do that for vocals as well, and people take on those facts and then they can make up their own mind about it. I'm not trying to sway anybody away from a particular artist or guitarist or anything like that. I'm just literally analysing the video that I've been sent. So recently I did a video on a vocal coach, and again, it was just a request. Somebody sent me a message saying, "What do you think about this?" So I watched the video and did an analysis of it. And the vocal coach messaged me on Instagram after I made that video, and we had a normal conversation. We spoke as professionals, and it's great because when you're talking with somebody on a professional level, we know that it's just an objective thing we're talking about. We're not calling each other names and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, that's something that I don't condone at all, going off and calling names, and saying this is better than that person, or I'm better than you are because of this and this. You've just got to be as unemotional as possible, because the great thing is that we could have a discussion on Instagram, myself and the vocal coach, and we could come to the common ground that there are some things that we agree on and some things that we disagree on, but we have very similar views on pitch correction, on the whole. And, I say clearly in my video that, and I said to her in the messages, that I wouldn't pitch correct her voice because I think she's got a great voice, and just to leave it as it is. But again, it's just different opinions. Like, who am I to tell somebody what to do? They can do whatever they want to do with their own voice artistically, as I can do whatever I want with my voice and my guitar playing. If somebody came and said, oh, I don't want you to play guitar like that, I want you to play it in this style, which I like, of course, I'm going to make the choice artistically for my own music. So yeah, I'm not one of these people that is going to start telling people what to do. So I just want to finish this video by addressing a few things that I've seen and a few comments. And this hasn't been on my channel, it's on another channel. And my reply to said comment, or comments, I only replied to kind of the end of the thread. My comment doesn't show up, unfortunately, so I'm going to address it here. And it's the point of view that maybe, I don't know how many people have, it's probably only a couple of people, but one person said that they were sorry that the person was being targeted by this Wings of Pegasus character. And as I've said in this video, every video that I do is requested. I'm not targeting anyone. I'm looking at a video and just explaining things analytically, objectively about that video. So it's not me going out and trying to find people and find videos that might be on pitch correction or auto-tune, or try and find artists that are using it and expose them and all that kind of stuff. I approach every analysis video in exactly the same way all the time. For example, when somebody's been playing the guitar, or they've been seen to be playing the guitar, that's what people think are going on. But then I've mentioned that they're not actually playing. It's a backing track, and you can tell because this bend here, you can hear vibrato, but they're not applying it. So just so you know that that's what's going on. That's an analysis. And I'm just pointing things out, based on my background and my knowledge of playing guitar and singing and doing what I do for so many years. So again, I'm just pointing things out. That's not a personal attack. It's just stating a fact about what we're looking at. So there was another comment that said that I, or he, has several pitch correction rant videos every week. And again, I would say, watch my channel if you're going to say that, at least, so then you can see that I don't just do pitch correction videos. And maybe they're watching other vocal analysis videos, not realizing that I'm not talking about pitch correction. We're using that to look at vibrato and other vocal techniques. So them saying that, again, shows that they're not actually watching my channel, and that's not an objective fact. I'm all about objective facts. So if you have watched the channel, we've had Tracy Chapman recently with the Grammys performance where, I get the guitar out, we go through the chords, we go through her vocal. We've got Billy McLaughlin, who we did, a couple of weeks ago, something like that, where I'm demonstrating tapping technique that Billy does with both hands on the fretboard, totally retuning the acoustic guitar. Again, nothing to do with pitch correction. We had Julian Lennon comparing his voice with his father's and looking at it in detail. Again, nothing to do with pitch correction. We had Tori Holub recently with a cover of The Carpenters, and that, again, nothing to do with pitch correction. It's just looking at her voice, analysing it. Then we had a follow-up video to that because somebody said that it wasn't her voice, that it was just the original track. So I used the same software to show that it was a different voice, it was Tori's voice, and just to dispel that idea or that myth that it could have been the original song. So we've got multiple love affair. Another one. If you've watched the channel over the last few weeks, you would have seen all of these videos, and Love Affair was Everlasting Love. That was the song that we looked at. And again, we're breaking down the song and the vocal. It's nothing to do with pitch correction. So to say that that's all I'm doing every week and I've got several video rants going, the person commenting, and this actually shows that it does swing both ways, that you can have somebody who's saying to one channel, oh, I don't agree with what you're doing, and then you've got another person saying, oh, I can't believe everybody here, that's what he's doing on his channel. He's doing rants all the time. Every video is to do that, and he's, tracking down, targeting people. So yeah, he's evil or whatever. But they're not actually going on my channel to see, oh, if they did, they might go on and say, right, let's see who he's slagging off today. Oh, he's looking at Tapping Technique by Billy McLaughlin and demonstrating hammer-ons, pull-offs, and open string tunings. so yeah, it's all a bit crazy, but I guess they've only seen one video and they're making an assessment from that one video, or maybe they've seen a few videos and their assessment comes from their own bias to what they think about pitch correction. And this is the massive problem, is that if I point it out about anybody, fans of that person, if they think that it's a negative thing, obviously they're going to get emotional and defensive, but all I'm doing is pointing out the fact that it is happening and that it was used. Another thing the person said is that I'm criticizing pentatonics, and I never criticize anybody. In fact, when I'm looking at a video that is pitch corrected, I do say that they've got great voices. Make sure that you check out their other live performances and other videos, but what we're looking at, what we're analyzing, is pitch corrected. And I've got to state that because it is an analysis. So seeing me just pointing that out as a criticism, that's in that person's head. That's how they're seeing it. Whereas that's not what I'm doing. I'm just stating that this is what we're looking at and this is what's happening. Interestingly, in that particular thread, somebody is commenting with a counterpoint to what this person's saying about pitch correction and that everybody uses it, and why would you not want to make your music sound as good as possible? And the other person is saying about the expression of the voice and all these different things that I talk about. The person who is saying about me criticizing pentatonics ends the conversation or the comment saying, pitch correction makes your album sound better. Discussion over. And I mean, this is the huge problem, that you can't end a discussion with somebody by stating your opinion, because it's your opinion. You think it makes it sound better. Somebody else might think it makes it sound worse. That's their opinion. So you can't end the discussion, or the other person will say it doesn't make vocals or your album sound better. Discussion over. This is the point of a discussion. Is that you can't end it with an opinion, because everybody's opinion is different. So it's, I guess, accessing this part of your brain that accepts everybody has a different opinion. So yeah, I think the people that say, well, I don't care that pitch correction's being used and it doesn't make any difference to me and it doesn't mean that they can't sing in the first place and all these different things, that person saying those things is correct. That is their opinion. Their opinion is correct to them. And somebody that says, oh, it doesn't affect me, I don't care, the opposite to that is, it does affect me, I do care. And you've got to take on that other person's opinion. I mean, you don't have to agree with it. That's the great thing about opinions. You can have your own, but base your opinions on objective facts. And then you can make your decision. And once you've made that decision, yeah, you are correct. So it's a case of trying to not get emotional about things and say, this is my opinion. If somebody argues with my opinion, that's their opinion. So they are correct as well. There's no such thing as an incorrect opinion, because it's a subjective thing. It's an opinion. So yeah, I think it's really important just to kind of highlight the differences between those things, objective facts and opinions. And I've mentioned before that lots of people on my channel probably, 6 months ago said, why don't you look at more recent performances? And I started looking at more recent performances, and of course I'm pointing out pitch correction because it's something that's being used a hell of a lot more. And I mean, this is why it's a catch-22 situation. Do more videos, but don't point out pitch correction. But in an objective analysis video, you've got to. If you're looking at a more recent video that's using pitch correction, how can you not mention that? Because that's not an analysis anymore. But again, maybe it's the confusion that people think that it's just going to be a reaction or me watching something and saying how I feel about it rather than saying what it is, because those are very different things. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I just wanted to explain it, just to point out that, in the comments section, just to be respectful either way. You can voice your opinion, but if somebody voices an opinion that is not the same as yours, then yeah, just to have a respectful discussion about it. And if the other person starts calling you names or whatever, then they're not at the level where they can have an objective discussion about their own opinion and your opinion. So it's not really worth bothering talking to them. So yeah, thank you again for watching. And I mean, if you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. But as you know, I'll just be doing analysis videos into the future, whatever they may be, whatever the subject is, or whoever the subject is. So I will, catch you guys at the next one. Keep those requests and suggestions coming in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!